Marcellus, I'll start with you. Who's more to blame, sports culture or social media culture for Durant?
Well done, Whitlock. I'm going to blame the sports culture. First, let's not even go into the alternative here when we're talking about social media and then how it's a softer sports world. Remember No Mas, 1980?
Yeah, Roberto Durant, no Mas.
Tap out, right? Tap out.
Durant beat him up pretty good.
Yeah, exactly. Social media, what Facebook was looking like in 1980. Oh! So we got countless examples. I'm not going to dumb it down with that. Let's talk about what Durant went through in the sports culture. I've been here before. I think there are a few elements we must highlight. First, every single athlete that I know, once they get a contract, once they're big time, wants to earn their keep. I think that's a commonality with all work cultures. Hey, I'm here. They paid me. I want to earn my keep. I want to live up to this title. After that, when you get injured, this is what happens. People start knocking at your door. Remember who these people are. They know your address. They're close to you. They're your teammates. They're your coaches. They're the executives. Here's what first happens. Your teammates come up to you. They don't ask you, how are you doing? They say, you good, right? A little suggestive, a little leaning. You're good, right? And then your coach is looking at you like, man, half of you is better than most of all the other players in this league. You gonna be all right, KD, right? I mean, it's just all this leaning in with pressure, the organization. And look, I've been there before. So when that starts to occur, what happens is the knocking at the door. Even if you don't open the door, it's disturbing your peace. What happens then? That knocking gets louder and louder. It clouds your judgment. It clouds your vision. To sooner than later, you may relent and open the door to people you're familiar with, people you love to work with. So that's what happened to Kevin Durant. I am as guilty as him. I'm as guilty as Richard Sherman. I'm as guilty as every player I've ever seen in that exact same moment. You cave into that pressure to open the door to those you feel.
I would agree with that. I would go, but because it's Kevin Durant, I would go 70-30 social media. 60-40 social media. That's me, right? And then the other 40 or the 30 would be more so sports culture, right? Because we've been taught since kids to fight through pain, right? No one's 100% after like 12, 14 years old. You're always spraining ankles or doing something.
Yeah.
I think if it was someone else, different. But because it's Kevin, and Kevin responds so much to social media, as soon as, I don't know what he does, but as soon as he wakes up, he's literally looking at that phone, which in his brain, yeah, you're from the East Coast, yeah, you're tough, yeah, you want to prove, but yet that's more incentive that I have to go out there and prove. And he's a very loyal person, too. Loyal not just to his players and his teammates, even though he may leave, but loyal to his base, his fan base, his where he's from, right? And where we're from is you fight through it. You named the Rocky thing. We fighting through these different things. And I think that's what hurt Kevin, listening to that, hearing the tweets, hearing the Instagram, hearing all these things. I think that's what put more of the pressure on it. And to you, Marcellus, what you're saying is that passive-aggressive, you all right? I think all of that takes a toll with Kevin because if it was, like I said before, if it was anybody else, different. But because it's Kevin and he caters so much towards social media, I think that's put the pressure on him.
Quick story. Karl Malone. You never saw him wear sleeve, elbow, nothing. He had a sprained knee at one point, and he put a sleeve on it. Jerry Sloan walked into the locker room and said, "You're not going to wear that blank rag, are you?" Karl Malone went out on the court. He wasn't wearing anything on his knee. That's the passive-aggressive that you speak of. That's the it didn't have anything to do with how Karl...
1980.
Exactly. But fair.
90s.
We've culture's still there, though. That culture's still there.
We've seen Kevin Durant respond to social media. Have we seen him act upon social media? Have we seen him do anything on the court?
Burner account.
To answer. No. That's still in the
still
social
media
realm. I'm talking about somebody
world.
accuses him of something and then he therefore acts different.
Yeah, we just saw it in this game 5.
No, this was about a closeout game. This was about looking at the guys around that locker room and saying Klay Thompson's playing with a strained hamstring. DeMarcus Cousins is playing with a bad quad. Andre Iguodala is playing with a bad calf. How can I not strap it up and go out there and do the same for them and risk it? To me, that had a lot more to do with his decision and the sports culture of, I don't want to walk away from this opportunity of winning 3 in a row. It's that.
Yeah.
Damn my future. Damn my health tomorrow. I'm going to play for today. That's what we consider as noble. Even the Warriors, Joe Lacob said, we respect that he did this. I take great issue with that. No,
that
you
was a
should regret.
passive-aggressive shot, yeah.
Without question.
Yeah.
But that's the whole mentality that he is surrounded by, and that's what he was answering to.
Okay, but Rick, here's what I believe, Rick and Marcel. If you turn off social media, if we could go back 10 years and there's no social media, I think he makes a different decision.
I think he makes the
today.
Exact same. Give me some evidence why it would be different.
Because, again, I'm looking at athletes make different decisions. There's an athlete
I agree with that.
named Kawhi Leonard who's not a part of social media, and I think that's why he was able to make the decisions he did in San Antonio. That's a guy that basically a lot of these, they put on headphones, they block out the world. KD's not one of those guys. I'm looking at college football players, kids. You know, them bowl games, coach, and fuck, y'all can keep that. I'm good. I'm looking at guys make decisions they never used to make, and now they have the leverage to.
It's just peer pressure. That's a lot of social media peer pressure. And what you said, Rick, is spot on. Yes, I think because he loves the game, he loves his guys. He sees, he's aware. And when you're aware, not just aware in the locker room, you're aware of social media. You're aware of everything that's going on. So us, Marcellus, like I said before, us learning how to play through pain, learning that my other guys are out there and they're going to lay it out, I'm going to do that. Now, mix that with my social media situation that's going on.
Yeah.
And now this Kawhi Leonard, he ignores a lot of stuff.
Okay, let me get this
Kevin,
on.
don't ignore those things. I think that's what put the pressure
Let's not
on.
make Kawhi Leonard analogous to KD in this moment. First of all, that wasn't a championship moment for Kawhi. He tapped out of a regular season, and he was misdiagnosed. So him being misdiagnosed second time around, I've learned from that experience. KD, going forward, coming around next time, he's going to learn from this experience.
He was misdiagnosed, but he had a second opinion. KD didn't get a second opinion.
No, KD had his own team of doctors, so it's not even second opinion. It's like someone has to be in alignment to what you're saying. That said, this whole era change because of social media, I disapprove of that line of demarcation for this. Back in your day, back in the day before yours, 80s, early 90s, those guys were deemed tougher. And we deemed them tougher because, you know what? It seemed like they fought through everything. You know why they did? Because they didn't have any options. And you know what we got now? We're smarter. But that doesn't mean we're softer. We're just smarter.
You're not only smarter,
But that's my
but
point.
you're more financially secure.
That's my point.
This is the distinction.
That's my point.
That's the point.
Again, I think that,
But that's not social media influenced.
But I think
That's bank account and me understanding the game.
They have more options and they're making different decisions. They have more power, more leverage, and they're making different decisions. And again, I said sports culture is soft, but I'm also saying it has to be because you now have more leverage. You're making so much money. The decision, even just Kevin Durant, $35, $40 million on the line per year. Of course, and Kawhi.
But he rolled the dice on
Why
that.
would anybody ever call Kevin soft? He's never been soft.
Well, we know it's out there.
I would never
he was
call
called
Kevin
a
Durant.
cupcake coming out of Oklahoma City.
That's about switching
I mean, I just think that
teams.
was feelings. I don't think that's who he is. Who he is
Well, I
he's a
agree with
beast.
that, but that's what he was accused
That's
of.
accused, right?
I mean, whether
That's
you think
about,
he's
but
bad or
again,
not.
that's about decision making with team. In terms of his physical toughness on the court, I don't think that's ever really been questioned.
But we blend those two. And the thing, going back to the financial aspect of it, and I was struck by this because I talked to Will Blackman, and I've noticed a lot of NFL players like you go out and play. Like you don't think about the physical ramifications. Well, it's because most NFL players are not in the place of an NBA player.
Right.
Yes.
The money is guaranteed.
Right.
So I need to figure out how do I handle my career long term? Because I'm good right now. For an NFL player, you don't show up for work. You're not getting paid. Chances are you're getting cut.
Let's add some nuance to that because, again, it's like Carson Wentz just got a contract with $107 million guaranteed dollars. Is the whole contract guaranteed? No.
No.
But the top echelon of the NFL, those signing bonuses guarantee your contracts for 2 or 3 years.
Right.
You don't get the long-term 5-year deals that are guaranteed like the NBA. But there are some guarantees for the top players in the NFL. And look, I'm looking at NFL players make different decisions. Nobody's cutting off a pinky finger anymore, and no one's being celebrated if they do.
Well, you know why? Let me tell you real. Let me testify for a second. My situation, I had a back surgery, played through it because it was my contract year. Boom, got paid. Went to San Diego, broke my foot before the first game. Sitting there, that pressure, passive-aggressive, every teammate. You just got $40 million, Wiley, and you're not going to play? All right, I get it. Must be nice to be you. Coach is looking at you like, wow, you're not going to earn your keep, but hey, we see you next year. All those jokes made me get a surgery when I was secure. Get a surgery, played through that with 1 foot, didn't practice one time. Guess what? Made the Pro Bowl. Uh-oh, I'm on top of the world. Back surgery, no foot, I'm killing the game. Guess what it did to me? Pushed me so close to the edge, I went south, game over, compensation, injury after injury. And my point is, NFL players will plow through it without the foresight. Thank God there's now an Andrew Luck who said, I ain't plowing through this shoulder injury. Right. Thank God there was a Kawhi Leonard. I'm not plowing through it. But I'm just trying to make sure we make a distinction between learning the game and learning what your followers are saying on social media. Because I wasn't influenced by social media.
I just think it's more
And I don't think the Andrew Luck was
But I just think it's more influential because at the end of the day, when we got bullied, when we were younger, it was a dude walking down the street with his friends and you was by yourself. That was the bullying. Now the bullying is what?
Cyber.
On social media.
Cyber.
Right. So how can you bully me on social media if it's on social? You're not touching me.
Yeah.
So we looking at it like that. All you got to do is turn it off, right? So that's just kind of like what I'm saying. When you have so many people talking to you and every single day you wake up early in the morning and the first thing you look at is that your program, not only because we're athletes, but your program to not just listen to your peers and your coaches and your executives, you're listening to people who really don't matter.
Affirmation.
Let me give you another one, Marcellus.
Give it to me.
That I think, and we'll get into it here in the next segment, but we'll touch it here briefly. Just imagine you're an experienced member of the media now. 10 years, Rick 30 years, me 30 years, you know. And so we understand the noise. But imagine when the people closest to you who have no experience are also, let me jump on social media. Baby, did you hear they said this? KD's mother on social media. Draymond's mama on social media. Steph Curry's wife on social media. Everybody, it's the whole family is waking up, checking.
You hear what they say?
You hear what they say, blah, blah. And that and again, that's, you know, my parents are older and people, but people I get close to me. I don't want them involved in the social media thing at all. I actually like, oh, you don't watch my show? You don't know nothing about me? You don't know nothing about this world? That's a positive, because I don't want to hear none of it when I come home.
Yeah, I will say this, Whitlock, to that. I give this entire generation a pass because they are first generation social media.
Right.
There are no elders that can game you about social media.
Right.
So especially when your elder is actually on your level playing field, playing the game with you, you're not an elder statesman. You have no more wisdom and experience in this than I do. So they're both the windshield. And we know what happens to the windshield. It gets all the bugs, right? And that's what's happening right now. But I do give them a pass in that experience since they're all going through it for the first time.
It comes down to this. If the locker room was telling KD, bro, don't play, we got this. If the team was saying, don't play, we got this, it wouldn't matter what social media said. But they weren't.
Exactly.
The two were in tandem.
Right.
They were both saying KD needs to play.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. And be sure to check out more of the best clips from Speak For Yourself, or go watch a few segments from our other shows on FS1.